Some sauce. All right. What's going on, everyone? It's Ross 98 the Max. This is the Stump, where we we talk to local musicians and try not to curse, which is
that's doable.
It's doable. Maybe for you, this is gonna be hard for me because I don't have like this is, yeah. But it's funny. We got Joey Killingsworth.
Yeah.
Is that your real name?
Yeah. Bobby Joe Killingsworth II.
The second? How do you get blessed with
That's a country
metal? Yeah, about to say.
Yeah.
Of the George Jonestown, or Joecephus and the George
Jonestown Massacre.
All right, I'm gonna say this one more time.
There it is.
I'm embarrassed. Joecephus and the George Jonestown Massacre. I should know this because we played together before.
Yes.
And I've seen you, and you guys are. This is not a curse. Bitching.
Appreciate it.
You guys. I mean, you guys rock, man, and
Thanks.
you come with some riffs, dude.
It's just who I surround myself with to get the players with me.
It really is. Like, who you play with really brings it out in you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, kind of steps up your game.
I technically have 7 or 8 people in the band, but 3 will show up at the show.
3 will show up at a show?
Yeah, we keep it 3-piece. If more people can do it, we played one show at Lafayette's and we called it the Josephus Big Band, where we had I think 5 people in the band.
Okay. And they showed up at one time?
Yeah, we had Oregon. We had Brian Coster, who's usually with me on bass. He played guitar. I played guitar. So we had Dick Ledoux, who my partner in putting out these charity tribute albums. He plays bass with me sometimes. So we just try to get everybody on at the same time.
That's cool, man. It's
So
cool to have that kind of revolving door just in case you need a backup.
Whoever can do it goes. Like on the tour, some people can't do since they're getting longer. So it might be me, Dick Ledoux, and Dave Wade on one tour. This one's me, David Wade, and Brian Costner.
Yeah.
Somewhere it's me, Dick Ledoux, and Daryl Stevens.
Yeah.
So we're trying to eventually do one big show where it's going to be 2 drummers and go Allman Brother with.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw Darren. He's the drummer in the Shock Me's.
Yeah,
the Kiss tribute, and he did the show with us. But I didn't recognize him because he shaved his beard so he could put on the Kiss makeup.
Right.
All I think 3 out of the 4 guys all had beards, and they had to shave and put the makeup for the show.
Like sometimes at Fool's Ball, he's been in like 3 bands on the bill back to back, 4, and just nails it.
That's pretty cool.
And like
man.
you don't even have to practice with him. We did one show. We just showed up after a year. Cause I took a break doing other bands, and then we didn't even practice, and he just knows her stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice when people. I feel like that's like the difference between like a guy with a guitar and a musician is that you can just plug and play, and they kind of have all that stuff in the back. Like they're like, oh, I can go from this. Or I know this 12-bar blues scale. I can go with that anywhere. Find it on the neck.
Right.
And you just run with it.
Brian, I'll say we did 2 shows, and he's broke the E string on the bass, and we did like a 3-set show, and it was the first set on both times he's did it. He just
And he just finds somewhere else.
I'd be like, it's over.
I was about to say, I'm done.
I can't do it. I'm like, but he can sit there and just, even we got drop D sticks, like, is this some drop D? I was like, that's just stupid good.
That's a guy, I'm about to say, that's a guy who sacrificed a lot of time out at the bar, at his house, to make sure he mastered his craft.
And then he play out like accordion and piano and bass. And he play country licks, just smoking on country licks.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's sitting there playing bass.
Well, when we do 3-piece, it's easier, less of the pie to split when you're on the road. So that way he does bass and we can pull it off 3-piece.
That's what. And you're going on the road tomorrow?
Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Where's the first stop?
Fort Worth, we're playing with, what's it, Dakaju?
Oh, Dakaju!
Yeah, we're playing with them in Fort Worth. Heels is also on the bill.
Yeah, the Heels are going out. I'm trying to get Heels to come in here.
Yeah.
Josh, Brennan, love those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you guys all driving out there together, or you guys just have to stand?
The show got lined up, and we got lined up to be like direct support for Dakaju. Dakaju, how do you say it?
I say Dakaju.
Dakaju,
Bacon, bacone, whatever.
Yeah, and then also I found out later, it's like there's an outdoor stage with all these bands, and I found out Hills is playing too, so we're going to try to get there early and check them out.
I was about to say, a little bit of Memphis hanging out in Texas together. I like that, man.
Fun.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Who's booking that one?
I just kind of lined up the show, and that he'd already had that lined up.
Okay.
So they just kind of just stayed.
All right. Heels, check them out too. We'll have them up on the Stump. But yeah, dude, how long are you gonna be on the road for?
I think half a month. We're coming back the 30th. We'll come back the 31st.
That's a nice little jump
We're
right there.
doing like Fort Worth, 2 shows in Austin, San Antonio, off in El Paso, Scottsdale, Arizona. Going to hang out at Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Play there.
Sober, of course.
Day off in LA, in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
We were playing the Viper Room with Charlie Overby, who's been on tour with Blackberry.
Smoke?
Yes.
Blackberry Smoke?
He's been their support band, and then Pearl, who's Meatloaf's daughter, Scott Ian's wife,
Mm-hmm.
and some other people. Then we're going to Ventura, California, San Diego, then off to party in Vegas. Then we're playing in Vegas. Then we're coming through Flagstaff. Then we're going through 2 other places.
All right, right on,
There's 2
man.
other
That's a
places.
solid. That's a solid
Yeah.
trek right there.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to plan that one?
I've been booking it for last 3 months, but I've also been booking tour from Thor, we had our Asteroid, Pinkus from Butthole Surfers. I've been booking all these people's tours, and like I gotta be done by the time we go on the road, because I was booking a Nick Turner Hawkwind tour one time, and it fell into our tour, so I was steadily, when I'm at the hotel, just going through emails, like, I can't do that.
So you're telling me is you know how to do algebra?
It's puzzles. It's
Yeah, it's just moving and shifting those
But
pieces
talking
away.
to the agency I work with, they're like, well, obviously, I was like, I gotta take a break because I'm going on tour, and they're like, well, we need to talk to you when you get back about representing you to get you more on direct support slots for bigger tours.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's something you definitely want to hear.
It's like, okay, after next year will be 15 years doing this band, so it's like, great.
15 years. So 15 years, Joecephus and the George Jonestown Massacre has been together.
Yeah, and yeah, no, some form or
In some form or another.
It's
the
like
name is
just a
carried on.
revolving cast.
Which we got some
These are
merch
for
here.
you.
Oh, these are from me?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Check this. I almost cursed right there. Check this out.
Our drummer on that album is W.S. Holland, Johnny Cash's drummer from the Tennessee Three. Played with
Really?
Because he played on all the tracks. The guests are Mick Harvey, if you ever heard of The Birthday Party or Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Mhm.
Him and Warren Ellis from there. We got Buzz from Buzz from the Melvins singing. Pinkus from the Butthole Surfers Melvins with us. All the profits from that go to the FSH Society for Muscular Dystrophy Research.
Really? Now, is that like, because I know you were heavily involved with Spicer Fest.
Yeah, we've been doing. We did the first charity album. We did the Black Oak charity album where we did Black Oak songs with everybody from Jello Biafra, Shooter Jennings, Kyle Turley from the New Orleans Saints quarterback. We got a whole cast of characters, members of Merciful Fate, Black Flag, Rick.
Yeah.
And like one time we played with Black Oak, Arkansas, and then I was talking to one of Greg Ginn's buddies. He's like, Greg always talking about me funny, Black Flag, Arkansas. So we got us with Ricky Lee Reynolds and Greg Ginn, with Jeff Clayton from Anti-Scene doing the vocals, did Electricity King Arkansas. But all the profits from that went to the Savior Foundation and Memphis Animal Rescue.
Okay.
And all that. And then we're doing the next one we're giving to FSH in honor of Janelle again. We're doing that. We've already started it. Nazareth's Hair of the Dog in the entirety. We got the guitar player from Nazareth. We got members of Nashville Pussy, Ministry, Pinkus and the Butthole Surfers, Super Suckers. I said Nashville Pussy. Scott Kelly from the Roses.
Uh-huh.
So we got some heavy hitters on that.
God, how?
So
I was about to say, this is like the dream come true. Like, you get to collaborate and for a great cause.
The first album, the Black Oak tribute, took 6 years.
Okay, so this isn't something that we're like, oh, we're gonna meet up for a weekend, we'll bang
That
these out.
took forever. That we would do a track and like we'd email Jello Biafra because someone said, "Why don't you ask Jello?" It's like that ain't in our world. Oh, he wants to be on it. It's like, oh, so we did that, and there's a lot of, hey, here's what we're doing. We be on a record.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to do some Merciful Fate on there. So we're doing all this, and that one gets done, and like we're about to give up, put it out ourselves, and then Pinkus from the Surfers, he's like, hey, check out my bud Jeff from Sawsticks. The week we were about to give up and just put it out ourselves, we talked to so many labels, Alternative Tentacles wants to do a Kickstarter and all this. This guy Jeff from Sawsticks said, I'll put it out. Once we got the press from that, this one we went in with W.S. Holland, knocked out in a day. Then the rest emailed the tracks, and then now it's easy. I just say, hey, here's what we did, and there's enough press. That's the reason we can go do these tours now, because there's so much press from these albums. And we give the money from charity, so people are like, oh, they realize we ain't lying about all this stuff. So now it's easier to get. So as soon as we get back and we got another layer of guitar tracks for the Nazareth one, and you bells and whistles, then send out the tracks to the guests. and like Blaine and Ryder from National Pussy, they'll come out on a break from their tour and hang out and do their, but everybody else pretty much email. Then we start the next ones, and we're working on the next regular Joecephus record, and in April, Forbidden Place Records is putting out my other band, Thousand Lights record.
Oh wow, God! I think the Thousand Lights, isn't that Jesse Davis?
Yeah. Chris McCoy and Russ Thompson.
Okay. God, you're a busy man.
Trying.
Stay busy. I'm about to say it's better than the alternative, which is nothing, man.
Well, I used to have a band that we would always, and then nothing ever happened. Like, oh, you got to actually do it yourself.
Yeah, that's the one thing that, like, the DIY kind of culture. I mean, I like, record labels aren't spending money on anybody. They're not really recruiting bands. They just kind of want to, like, just entrench the bands they already have, or that, or if they know they're gonna get, like, if they have guitar and a synth, you know, like, and they're like a poppy, like an Imagine Dragons or something like that. That's kind of what they want to push.
You gotta, and they're gonna put any kind of effort into you. You gotta see you're doing it yourself. I will say there's this group in Memphis, Music Export Memphis, and they are giving grants to bands. Like, if you have 5 shows lined up out of town and you represent Memphis music, they're giving grants.
Really?
Yeah, and they're awesome. They've helped us out this tour and the last tour.
What's the name of that again?
Music Export Memphis.
Music Export Memphis. All right.
They're
Write
awesome.
that down, man.
And they're trying to help bands big time.
Good, because, you know, it's tough, man. 9 times out of 10, you're working a full-time job, and you're trying, and everybody else, like you said, that you have a different lineup when you go out of town.
Right.
Whoever's available. You know, it's a real kind of like the schematics of kind of working that out. That's a real juggle.
Also, we get back from this tour, then we're going out to play Moonrunners Festival in Chicago in May. We got Josh Stevens playing drums for the first time with us.
Really?
And then Dick LeDoux, yeah.
Josh Stevens, Gloria Sabor.
Yeah.
Trying to get those guys in here as well.
Yeah.
Dude, man, that's the one thing. I feel like rock music is kind of just, it's taken such a hit, not just from like the industry at large, but even the guys who are like at the forefront who keep saying rock is dead, rock is dead, rock is dead. I'm like, you're not helping the cause.
Right.
If anything, you're trying to sell more tickets to your arena show. I'm like, help out people on the ground trying to get up, because, but I've seen a lot of rock, there's a lot of really great blues rock coming out right now. And I feel like that's like the new, it gives me faith in the genre, because I feel like it's going to be the next thing. We're going to get tired of this crap, this happy crap, and we're going to finally get back into being, you know, bloody knuckles and help me wake up and get to work in the morning.
And most bands, for some reason, don't seem to realize they think it's either just poverty or rock stardom. It's like, well, no, you kind of bust your ass. You get to a point where you got a paid vacation across the country.
Yeah.
You can get guarantees. You can. The rock bands don't hustle like the rappers do.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. I mean, rappers, you know, they're all about promotion and they do more.
Yeah.
But rock bands are like, I don't like promotion. That's what people, they go, what are you doing this stuff and that stuff? Like, well, here's what I do. I'll tell you every bit of information of what I'm doing. I don't like to promote. Well, I like to do cool stuff more than you.
Yeah.
I like to go do cool stuff, so.
Alright, because it's funny you bring that up, because self-promotion is definitely one of the hardest things for a lot of people to get over, because it feels vain, or it feels like, it's like, I'm speaking for myself here, but it feels like kind of like almost like dishonest, you know, but like let someone else sing your praises. But at the same time, if you're not pushing yourself.
See, in another era, you know, bands were like, we don't do that kind of stuff, but they had people pushing. Like every band, if you say, well, I don't like to do it, every band you love at some point had somebody doing it for them.
Yeah.
All the underground bands now, all their Black Flag trademark, Sonic trademark. They got it all trademarked, and somebody was doing it. Like, I was in a band from '93 to '98, Grendel Crane. We didn't promote. No one remembers because we didn't promote.
Yeah, but to say, went to '98.
And then once I did this, started doing this, like, I don't care, I'm going to see what happens if I do it this way. Then everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice, like, if you post a lot of stuff, your friends go, oh, you post a whole lot of stuff, you just talk about your bands. Yeah. On the flip side, people are actually doing stuff going, oh, this guy's hustling, I'm going to help him.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, people start really kind of helping you, and everything kind of changes, and you'll see a change. It's like, oh, you actually got to work. The actual music, I mean, God, there's so many great musicians. That's the easy part, because you can always find a killer player.
Yeah.
But you can't find somebody who's going to wake up and bust their ass nonstop to do it.
Yeah, someone told me when I first got involved in radio, they're like, I was like, I'll take a persistent person over a talented person any day of the week, because a persistent person will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and show up at the studio and make sure that and do it again and again and again. World's filled with talented people.
I used to be up in the clubs all the time, but now I'm up at 8 in the morning booking my stuff and everybody else's stuff. So it's just like, if I sit around 8 o'clock, you know, I'm just tired because I've been just dealing with music business stuff all day.
Is there any place that you booked that was just for you? That you were like, all right, I gotta, because I hear Flagstaff, and I'm like, we did a comedy tour out there about 2 summers ago, and that was the one town I was like, I want to die here.
I'm looking forward to Joshua Tree big time.
Really?
But the Viper Room.
Okay. Yeah.
We're playing the Viper Room, and it's like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. A lot of history in that room.
But also a lot of bands.
A lot of penicillin too.
Yeah, and a lot of bands get discouraged and all this. I mean, we used to have reviews so bad they put our CD cover. The Memphis Flyer put our CD cover upside down. They just slammed us. And we show up to clubs and they'd be like, "Here, we got Joecephus."
You know what? I don't want to say anything because I messed up saying your name right off the bat. So like, yeah.
But Joecephus.
Joecephus.
We showed up one time as Joe in the DJ, and I'm used to it. And I'm like, at the time, I didn't think we were gonna be touring. I just made a joke song. Quit times I wrote a song about my boss.
Yeah.
But then when there was the Wake Up Crew back in the day, they played every day for 7 weeks in a row, and I just had this wacky name. They're like, oh, that's a funny name.
Yeah.
Then 15 years later, or 14, I'm like, oh God, that's such a long ass name, and no one can spell it right, no one can say it.
It does push the bounds of my tongue.
So you get people
But you pay attention to it.
But you get people going, it don't flow. But then on the other hand, we go, I seen your name in the paper, and I had to see if you could back that name up.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what we want to hear.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why all the branding now we're going with JGJM. Shorten it up a little bit.
Just do this. Get right here. You check out the album. Where can they find all your music?
It's iTunes, Spotify, we're Pandora, everywhere. And I have learned though, if you do make a crazy long name, if you have and versus the and symbol, Spotify and Pandora will make it 2 separate bands. So all your statistics and all this stuff that you track, if you track all your stuff, is 2 separate bands.
2 separate bands?
Because some I just put the little and sign, some I put and it's like all my stuff is split in like literally 2 bands. That was country bands. two bands. It's like, oh man, can I just get this all consolidated? No, you have to take all your stuff off iTunes and just switch it up. Make it all one thing and then re-upload everything.
I don't want to do all that. We went through DistroKid.
I use TuneCore a lot.
TuneCore? It was TuneCore, DistroKid, and the guy who produced our album, he said, go through DistroKid. It's really just whatever you use. That person used, that's what they're going to recommend. They didn't have any problems with it, but we went through DistroKid, and it was amazing how they just compile all the money in the account and you could take it out from streams. There's really basically none. It's all the sales on like iTunes or something like that.
Well, like TuneCore, they'll track and they'll get you, like I went and paid for their publishing they have, and that's helped out a bunch because it tracks revenue streams. And Sound Exchange is awesome for bringing in revenue streams. You know about Sound Exchange?
Yeah.
They're awesome. They are awesome.
Good.
There's other, and also if you're booking, indieonthemove.com is a list of all these, it's like a map with all the cities, and you pick what city and it's a direct link to all the bookers.
See, I hope people really watch this, and especially people in bands, because a lot of times they'll just, because the goal is your first goal is to practice, get a song, then play a bar, play a club, open up for another band, work your way forward, maybe go out of town one time. But like a lot of this stuff, I wish I knew starting off, because it just seems so insurmounting, especially with people discouraging you from your own camps.
Oh, when we put out the first charity record, we had some people trying to stop it from happening that are around the band. So I had to learn a bunch of legal stuff real quick and just shut them down. Like, you can't stop me from doing this. I learned how to work with the people that own songs and all this, and who you got to pay and all this stuff. So it was like, I learned a lot of legal stuff. So now I'm like, I used to throw covers on records like, no, I know who you got to deal with and pay and cover all bases, because once you get these names involved, you can get, it might end up with lawyers involved.
Okay. Any local shows you got coming up? I know, just so people can,
April 13th, we're playing with Whiskey Dick at the PNH. No,
P&H?
yeah, P&H playing April 13th.
With Whiskey Dick.
Yeah.
All right. I guess if it's in a band, you could say it.
Yeah. And then we have some shows coming up in April, but I don't remember, or May, but I don't remember the other ones. We're playing Lamplighter with the Hickoys, legendary punk rock band. The main guy in that band is the one that puts out our records. They're awesome. That's the only ones I remember offhand because I've.
I know you got so much going on in that head of yours right now.
Yeah.
Especially with the tour. But no, that's why I appreciate you coming in here last minute before you go out there. Absolutely, man. That's the one thing. The one thing I've noticed is just there's just so much talent. We talk about talent, but there's so many just talented bands that I want so many people to see and hear about, and I don't know if enough of spotlight's been shown on that. So, it's hard enough to get bands that are like nationally known to be recognized and be pushed in traditional media. So anything we can do to help out, I really want to help that out because
that's awesome.
I just want everybody to know, because I'm not from Memphis. I've been here 5 years now, which they told me I only stay here for a year. But, I screwed that one up. But the longer I stayed here, the more I'm like, man, why? People were talking about they talk about Memphis, Elvis, and stuff. And 3 6 Mafia. I knew it for 3 6 Mafia. That's when before I moved here, I was like, yeah, 3 6 Mafia.
For bands, it works better a lot of times if you're from Memphis and you're a Memphis band.
Yes.
Town. That just makes all the difference in the world. It's like that's just. You think Memphis would support the bands more instead of just the already established artists, but they just don't.
Well, I know a couple other bands that have toured throughout the United States, and they've gotten the gig because they said they were from Memphis, because it still holds that kind of that space in people's hearts, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Love the legacy, but as long as they're getting that gig and they can show them, oh, by the way, we're doing more than rockabilly.
Right.
We're kind of melting faces out here too.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so excited for Negro Terror.
Oh, they're all
They are killer, man. I want to get them in here, and we got a chance to play with them a bunch, and the energy that is surrounding any show that they play is unbelievable.
We used to do shows with Omar when he was in Soul Enforcers back in the day.
Soul Enforcers?
His reggae band, so it'd be us and them, and it was just a good combination.
Mm-hmm. Who's the band? I don't want to single anything out, but who's a band that has kind of caught your eye, and then you want it, throughout you want to see.
I dug
them.
you guys a lot when we played with you guys, Glorious Abort and Fast Mothers. They
Fast
got their
Mothers,
own
yeah.
vibe going,
Yeah, and Dirty Streets.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're going on tour, I think this week too.
With Pentagram.
Yeah.
That's. I want to hear stories from that.
Yeah.
So much I want to hear stories. God, that is awesome. That is awesome.
And that's why I'm always preaching to band, promote, do your stuff, but a lot of bands just go, I don't like this. It will make the difference in the world.
Yeah.
It's we get to play with, we play with everybody from Johnny Winter to we did the MC50 show, and with Kim Thale and all them guys in Nashville. And So
tell me about the MC5 show in Nashville.
That was awesome.
Yeah, because
they were so nice. There's no kicking everybody out of the dressing room. And it was bizarre because I love a band called The Birthday Party. Maybe not a lot of people around here know about, but I had a birthday party shirt on, and Kim Thale comes up and he's like, birthday party, and I'm talking to Brandon from Fugazi. He's like, birthday party, and I'm like, so I'm telling them about these charity records, and then they're geeking out that I got him in there because he's in The Birthday Party, because that's my favorite band, and they're like, oh, how'd you get McCarty? I'm like, this just don't make sense.
I don't know Birthday Party, but now I gotta go check them out.
And then I give them these, and then Kim's like, where's the CD of you guys aping that Van Halen cover? I was like, oh, and I got them that, and Kim Thale was showing everybody that CD. I'm like, this just don't make sense.
How surreal is that moment?
But when we did this record, we didn't ask, I didn't ask Jello Biafra, and we kind of kept it limited. And then when I sent the album to him, why didn't you ask me? It's like, well, I don't want to bug you. Dude,
Biafra's saying, why didn't you ask me?
He gave me crap about it. Just, why didn't you ask me? I'm like, because I did Johnny Cash songs. Well, I didn't want to bug you. You're over on one of the records. Ask me and I'll let you know if I don't want to be on. I was like, all right.
That would be too much for me. Just that moment. I don't want to get starstruck, But I get
I
starstruck
know the first time
easily.
he called, I was like, shake it off.
Yeah.
Don't be that geek.
Sweating under my pits.
But then like a year later, I'm working on stuff and he called and I was like, well, I'm going to give him a call in a second. Our fiance Rena, like, you see what's happened here, right? Remember Freak Out Joey? Now you ain't Freak Out Joey. You're like, I'll call him after I eat. You see something happening here.
Yeah, you're like, not now, I'm busy.
I'm like, oh my God, that's just so weird. Like, man, I want my food.
God, that MC5 show though. I mean, this was the 50th
That was
anniversary
so awesome.
tour.
And Wayne Kramer just killing.
Really?
Yeah.
God, MC5, man, that band.
Yeah.
I mean, and during a time period where they didn't, that sound wasn't invented yet.
Yeah.
And they were running with it. Yeah, them and the Stooges. I think the Stooges took MC5 on tour with them and gave. And
well, MC5 got
was,
signed and.
Or was it backwards?
MC5 was the first to get signed, and then that was the sister band, so they got a little less money. But that Wayne Kramer and them were like, you gotta check out these guys, and then got them a deal.
Really? And I remember because I think it was in the Stooges documentary. It's either I think MC5 took them on tour. And when they like kick out the jams was coming out and everybody was just going nuts and they're wearing. I just love the get-ups because they're wearing like this. It looks like clown clothes.
Right.
You know, but it was.
That's some rock.
That was rock, man. That was back then. It was like that was having one foot in the peace movement and one foot in our own thing.
And playing Wayne Kramer open for them guys, I was just like, oh my God. I was like, we're never gonna get that show. We're never gonna get on board. Then we got it. Like that one and Johnny Winter were.
Johnny Winter.
We opened for him.
Wow.
And then HR Bad Brains. But we played with like everybody from Lynch Mob to Head P. So if we play with a country band or something, or want to play country, so we got like 100 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we play with Shooter, we back Shooter, we play open for Shooter, play with David Allen Coe, Jim Dixon. We want to play with like a modern band, we play with Head PE and stuff like that. Old school Lynch, Agent Orange.
Mm.
So we can always kind of lean. Oh, we play with these guys to get on bill. Like, well, hey, we can leave the set more. Like, we can play heavy. We can play with Joecephus. We'll just keep it all heavy. We can play all country if we want. We got so many originals, just jump styles. Like,
Be a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was the one? I don't know. Who's the band that you were like? All right, MC5 could believe get that show. Who's the one that you were most pleasantly surprised by? Sans MC5.
I was tripping on them because they didn't kick everybody out the dressing room. They were just hang out. Shooter really helped us out. I mean, we played our very first show. We opened for him, but then later he started playing some of our stuff on his radio show and really started promoting us. And then like there's a video where he's got like our "What Would Lemmy Do" sticker on his guitar. And he's up there playing with Hank Jr. and there's John Pickle's face as Lemmy on his guitar, and he's kind of helped us out more than anybody. Which that came out of nowhere.
Really?
Like,
yeah.
And we did the Black Oak tribute. We had an extra song left over. Well, it was originally going to be like a 7-inch record, and we are going to have Jim Dandy on one song, and then we recorded 2 songs. We had one left over. So before there was a charity record or anything, I just emailed Shooter like, we got this track. You can't do it. Management won't let you. Whatever the case, totally understand. But if you want to sing on it with us, hey, yep. Whoa. And so he was like the really first. And then Anti-Scene really started kind of helping us out, and became buds with them guys, and they invited us this year, last year to their 35th anniversary show in their hometown. So it's kind of surreal with who we get to meet and play with.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is pretty surreal. Because I remember we opened for Kyle Gass one time from Tenacious D, and I was just like, he's real. It was like one of those moments every time, like, because you're only used to seeing somebody on a TV screen or hearing them. And then you just see him in the flesh, you're like, son of a bitch.
Well, when we did, when I had Super Witch going with Pickle and El Dorado and Chris McCoy, we were on one of our tours with the Massacre stuff, and we had a day off, and Greg Ginn from Black Flag, when they had the reunited Black Flag, put us on the guest list. So we were hanging out, and then Ron Reyes, when he was still singing with the band, I gave him some Black Oak signed stuff from Ricky Lee Reynolds, and he's a big Black Oak fan.
Yeah.
So our drummer time's like, I seen you hand him that stuff. He's like, y'all both look like little babies. You're geeking out on him because he's Greg Ginn, and he's geeking on you because you're giving all this Black Oak stuff. And then Ron Reyes like, you really want to make Greg happy? You know, it'd be funny if Black Oak and Black Flag played together. I was like, well, at the time I was booking them, so I spent a year and lined up Black Flag, Black Oak, Arkansas, and had Super Witch open. And it took a year to put together.
Well, it's funny because Super Witch was the first band one of the first bands, because I started doing the local show here on the Max. I'm not even a local guy. I'm trying to find all the local bands. I'm like, who do I find? And that was one of the first projects reviewers that I listened to, and I was like, oh, this is This is bitching, man. There's some good there's some good stuff in this town. So let's see where this goes.
That was a fun band.
It was a fun listen, man. Yeah. I don't think I got a chance. I think you played at Murphy's once before, and then I don't know if I got a chance to see it, but yeah, I don't know if it. I mean,
we played with them guys. We played with Agent Orange and other bands like that. So I had a fun little run.
Yeah.
And me and Pickle have another band called Mum, which is like a spinal tappy kind of band. Where I play drums on that. Just staying busy.
Yeah. So you play drums on that?
I used to play drums for a rockabilly legend in Memphis for like 10 years named Eddie Bond. My first show, technically, he was playing drums with Jumpin' Gene Simmons, the song Haunted House. Just played with him, so I can't do a lot of fancy stuff on drums. I can hold it.
You can keep a beat, man. You can be in a band. That's a fact.
I used to go do 3-hour sets with him all the time, and then because he got inducted to the Rockabilly Hall of Fame, so I got to play the Coliseum in Jackson with him. So that was fun.
Wow.
And my dad was on TV with him since like 65. So I started jamming with them like in 99, 2000 for like 10 years.
Damn, dude.
And my dad was on TV from like 60. There was the Eddie Bond show, and then he was Cousin Bojack, like the sidekick guy on the show. And that went from like 68 to, they had it kicked all the way up to like late 90s.
Okay, so like the whole
like my dad
media doesn't really kind of intimidate as much.
Like my dad, I mean, like everybody knows him, like in Stanton where he lives. Him and Eddie Bond, they'd always benefits basically bought the fire truck for the fire department. And when they had that show, they had everybody like Ernest Tubb and Webb Pierce, and I remember he invited me to play he led a Grand Ole Opry band at the Coliseum in the 90s, and I was like, are you still on now?
You're what?
I'm not still on now.
You're not still on now?
I'm getting free, because he asked me to always play music with him, and I was like, I ain't still on now. I don't like country, and then he come home with his $100. He got 30 minutes. And I'm like, I got free beer. And then when I start getting into country later on and hearing the Johnny Cash, it's like, oh, there's a lot of killing songs and just Barbara Mandrell. Then and Eddie's like, you gotta play with all these Johnny Paychecks and Webb Pierce. We had all those guys on our show. I was like, oh well. Missed opportunity.
Johnny Paycheck. That madman.
Yeah.
That guy was a mad
He played the Coliseum. My dad led the Grand Ole Opry band there for that. It's like, that's the one I'm like, I missed that one.
Yeah. Well, the list of shows that I wish I would have seen is far longer than the ones that I want to see at this point. But I always discover something new, and then you're like, just opens up that like a spider web, and you're like, oh man. Like one question I always like to ask is, I always like to find out who your favorite musician is. Because like, all right, so birthday party. So that it ends up being a huge like.
They were like a big influence. Like if you like they were like it's Iggy and the Stooges birthday party. Then you get into your Jesus Lizards. It's all like a lineage where if you like Jesus Lizard, ever heard of those guys? That's where that started. Like David Jowell's super big birthday party fan. And then he was like a fan, and there's pictures of him at a birthday party show. They're Australian. It's just insane, super badass, crazy music.
Crazy, insane, super badass music. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, they're like all-time favorites. So once we get this record, it's like Mick Harvey also tours now as band leader for PJ Harvey. So when my fiance went there, they hooked us up.
Oh wow!
And then like we got with this guy, we got to go give him the rough track. So we went and seen Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds in Asheville, and that was backstage, and it's like, oh wow, this is weird.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so now most of the people I work with, I work with so many bands I grew up listening to, that now we get to just go travel and go to shows and hang out with them.
That's pretty slick. That's a cool position to find yourself in,
So yeah, it's still weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, good.
Yeah,
if it ever gets normal, I get like, it'll take the flavor away.
It's still like we're like, oh my god, we're huge Nick Cave, the Bad Seeds fans are like, oh, we're backstage, and this is just not normal.
You feel like an imposter.
This is not normal for us. And then they come up and they know who we are. It's like, still, I'm like, oh.
That's slick, man. I like that. I'm happy for you guys, man. I'm happy you scheduled a tour, and that's kicking off on Friday. Fort
Worth, then down to Austin, doing 2 shows there, and then just knocking the dominoes out.
When they get back, April 13th at P&H.
Yes.
April 13th at P&H, and I think I said another one at Lamplighter. But we'll keep you posted any way we can. And yeah, man, Joecephus and the George Jonestown Massacre, man.
It's gonna be fun.
Dude, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you, bud. All right, we're out. This is the Stump, and we'll have another one next week for you. And yeah.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Thanks. Music Export Memphis.